ahead and know. Thank you. People that can hear, and a couple people not paying attention. So, Edwin, thank you. Go ahead and get started here with Football Recruiting 101. Gentlemen, my name is Coach Chris Vincent, head football recruiting coach here at NCSA. Excited to have you guys on the call here tonight. I'll give you a little bit of my background. I did have an opportunity to go through the recruiting process, although it was a few years ago. Was fortunate enough that I had 9 Division I offers walking in my senior year. 7th of the season, I blew my knee out every one. So hard work, perseverance, being open-minded and proactive. I was able to go on to a Division II school. We competed on scholarship, not only in football, but also track and field. From there, I had a tryout with the Dallas Cowboys. And then I went into coaching. So at the high school and the collegiate level for 16 years. I was a collegiate scout for 5 years, and I've been here at NCSA for 8. So the first thing that's going to tell every single one of you is I'm old. More importantly, I've been through the recruiting process more than half my life for the last 30 years as a player, as a high school coach, a college coach. I have boys of my own that play, so at some point I'm going to be going through recruiting as a parent. Just wanted to give you a little bit of my background and where I come from here in the recruiting process. It's it looks to be a little big, so there was the size a little bit there for you. Just give you a little bit of my background and who I am. So, game plan here tonight is to make sure that when you leave this webinar, you got a better understanding of football recruiting, specifically each division level and how they differ from each other, the rules on when and how college coaches can contact you, of when scholarships and roster spots are offered, how your academics are connected to your athletic recruiting. Finally, the next steps that you'll need to take to capitalize on every opportunity in the recruiting process. Again, definitely excited to be able to share this with you tonight. And if you miss something, I'll be sending out the recording shortly after the webinar is over. So let's start with Division III. 244 programs across the country. They do have a nationally televised championship game. So if that's a goal of yours is to be on national TV, you're going to be able to do that even at the D3 level. Currently, there are 13 players on NFL rosters from the D3 level. So, again, another option that a lot of people aren't aware of. Division does have elite academic programs. As a whole, Division III schools are the highest academic schools in the country. Like anything else, there are every rule. Stanford, Duke, Western, Notre Dame, your Ivy Leagues. But as an entire Division III are your better academic schools. Also the best opportunity to play multiple sports in college. However, they do not offer any form of athletic scholarships. That's a deterrent to families. But one thing that you need to understand is they do have substantial financial aid packages that's available through academics, merit and need-based scholarships. So don't discount a school strictly because of the price from the get-go. That you like, go ahead and look into it. The coaches will help you figure out what the finances are going to be, and see if that is an option. But again, some awesome schools at the D3 level. You never want to lose track of or lose sight of why you're going to college in the first place, just to get that college degree that's going to set you up for success the rest of your life. High schools. Again, another the beer that families and athletes aren't familiar with. The National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. It's a smaller version of NCAA. There are currently 89 programs across the country. Typically, they're going to be located Pacific Northwest, Midwest, and Southeast. So they're not everywhere like Division III, Division II, or Division I schools. Offer scholarships. They have 24 athletic scholarships. Typically, these are going to be split up and given as partials, and it can be anywhere from a 5% to a 90% scholarships, and they tend to be associated with playing time. Having a job, the more you work, the more you get paid. The more you play, the more scholarships that you get. They have very simplified recruiting rules. There's very few restrictions on when college coaches can contact athletes. So rather than coming to your school, talking to you personally, coming to your house, calling you, emails. So the NAIA schools can reach out extremely early. They also offer on-campus tryouts. And that's pretty a pretty cool thing, because you have an opportunity to try out ahead of time before you enroll in that school. Makes it a lot different than a walk-on position. In order to walk on to a school, you have to be fully enrolled academically, pay all the fees, and then walk on and might not even make the team, kind of stuck. So NAIA does have that opportunity to take advantage of. Division II schools, 169 Division II programs. If you are located on the West Coast, note that there's only 6 D2 programs that's west of Colorado. For a D2 program on the West Coast, chances are you're not going to be in state. We televised regular season games on CBS. So again, another opportunity to get on TV if that's a goal of yours. Very high level of competition. Over 100 D2 players currently in the NFL. They do offer scholarships, 36 scholarships across the roster. And just like NAIA, they typically will split these up. Allows them to get more athletes and to help more athletes. Just like NAIA, they are going to be linked to playing time. Athletic-wise, very, very similar to NAIA. Most schools that are in NCAA Division II, if they switch, they do go to NAIA, and NAIA programs that come to NCAA do go to the Division II level. Division I AA, you got 124 programs. You have 13 separate athletic conferences. Televised 24-team playoff. Why the Division I A schools cannot do a 24-team, I don't know, because obviously they do it at the D1 AA level, and they don't have a whole lot of problems with academics there. Again, a very high level of competition. Numerous NFL players. Some of these you may have heard of. Joe Flacco, Tony Romo, Vincent Jackson, Jared Allen, all played at the Division I AA level. 63 athletic scholarships across the roster. They can split them up. Necessarily, will they, though? Partials are typically going to be 50% of tuition. Room and board, that's going to be extra. Although the Pioneer League and the Ivy Leagues are Division I AA schools, they are non-athletic scholarship. So those are going to be treated just like Division III schools. Merit-based awards, academic awards, so forth. Excuse me. Division I schools. 28 programs, 10 athletic conferences. Most people know the Power Five, SEC, ACC, Big 10, Pac-12. And of course, they're constantly changing. For independent schools, Army, Navy, BYU, and Notre Dame. It's important to know, guys, everybody has goals and dreams of playing at the Division I level, playing at the highest level possible. Less than 1%. Right? Again, less than 1% of all high school football players will play D1. Less than 0.5% will be in one of the Power 5 conferences. Now, I said play, not get scholarships. Be on a team, less than percent. They have 85 full athletic scholarships across the board. Now, what makes them very different? Those scholarships cannot be split up. It's all or nothing. I say that they have 85 scholarships on their roster. That means that every year they have 85 scholarships to give up. Sometimes they only have 10. Not have more than 25 in any given year. If they've already got 75 on their roster that's coming back for the next year, they're only going to have 10 for the following year. So they keep that in mind. It's very important going through the recruiting process that you are being realistic. Contact rules. Again, I am going to be sending this out, so we're going to go through the contact rules fairly quickly here, but everyone here can read. But I will be sending this out, and you'll be able to go through it and ask any questions that come up that you come up with. So sophomore year, the only thing that you can be getting from any Division I schools is to have the only thing that you can be getting from Division I schools are generic camp information and brochures. Division II schools, same thing. Division III NAIA, you can be receiving anything. The one thing you can be doing with Division I, Division II schools at this time is taking unofficial visits. All right, that's visits that you pay your way to get there. You pay for any hotels, anything like that. Division I, starting September 1st of your junior year, it's when you can receive a social media message. You can receive personalized emails, letters, postcards from college coaches. You can receive phone calls your junior year. However, after April 15th, between April 15th and May 31st, you can receive one phone call per school from Division I or Division I AA. Limited on the unofficial visits. Division II, still receiving recruiting materials, calls. June 15th of your junior year, you can start receiving Division II coaches on a weekly basis. They are allowed to call you once a week. They also come to any type of summer program that you have and personally watch you perform, watch you work out. Official visits, again, unlimited. DNAIA on everything there. Division I, start receiving phone calls once a week after September 1st. Campus contact at July 1st, the summer before your senior year. Again, coaches are able to come watch you if you're in a 7-on-7 or just summer workouts at the high school. Coaches are allowed to come. And then you can take official visits. Now, this is where the school pays for them. Official visits allowed at the first day of classes. All right, senior year. Keep in mind, as a player, you're only allowed 5 official visits at the Division I or Division I AA level. Division II, unlimited across the board, including official visits, as well as D3 and NAIA. Can they suggest that you walk on to save a scholarship? Absolutely. There's 2 types of walk-ons. There's the standard walk-on and there's a preferred walk-on. A preferred walk-on is the next best thing behind a scholarship offer. It guarantees you a roster spot at first year. Doesn't guarantee they're going to play, but it's a roster spot. Then it's up to you to earn that roster spot for your second, third, fourth, or fifth year. Scholarships could come that third, fourth, fifth year. Depends on what you do while you're there. Standard walk-on position, there's no guarantee that you're even going to make the team. Scholarships obviously are the best, and then right behind that is going to be a preferred walk-on and then a walk-on position. So coaches typically make their offers. First of all, guys, it's important to understand that becoming part of NCSA is a great, giant step forward in your recruiting process. However, it doesn't just stop there. It's not going to happen overnight. You need to know recruiting is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So it's important to be consistent effort over time. 3 schools, most of their recruiting is going to take place during the senior season, can go late into the spring. I have seen athletes sign on to a Division III program as late as July. High schools, mostly, again, during the senior season. Most offers are going to be made sometime between November and March after the senior season is over. 2, there'll be some offers made during the summer, but typically they're going to be made towards the end of the senior season. AA, up to 50% of the offers are going to be made during the summer before the senior season. Most programs are going to have their offers, all their offers out by December. Look for 1 or 2 prospects in January, February, usually going to be a transfer or a junior college prospect, or maybe even someone that they had slated as a walk-on, but because of some things that happened, whether finances or grades or something like that, somebody wasn't able to get in and they had a spot come open. Division I-A schools, guys, these can be offered as early as an 8th and 9th grade. Typically, those are going to come from the Power 5 conference programs. But most D1 offers are going to come out spring, summer before the senior year. There will be a handful of offers made during that senior season. Coaches do hold on to see if anyone blossoms late. The important thing to know about getting an offer, an offer isn't an end-all. There's no guarantee until you sign on the dotted line signing period, which is to do over offer. Now, by that, you learned earlier that Division I schools can have no more than 25 scholarships available to them in a given year. Coach Jim Harbaugh from the University of Michigan had offered well over 300 athletes in the 2017 class. So coaches over offer all the time. If you get an offer, great. It's not the end of your recruiting process. Keep at it. Keep working to get more and more offers. So you have those choices when that signing period comes. Just to get an offer doesn't mean you're going to get a national letter of intent to sign. Academics. Academics going to play a role in your recruiting process. Well, I seriously doubt that there's a single one of you on this call tonight that go out on the football field, whether it be practice or whether it be a game, give less than 100%. The way that you have to look at it, realistically, how much more football do you have to play? 5, 6, 7 years tops. Finishing out your high school, going through college. That education is going to last you a lifetime. So I find it very interesting to have some student athletes who will give 100% for something that's going to last them 5, 6, 7 years, but will not give 100% for something that's going to last them a lifetime. Like the quote says there, you don't want to be an average football player, don't be an average student. Sure that you are following everything that you need for to get into the school by the eligibility center. NCAA. Right here is the website. Also, just go to ncaa.org and click on the Eligibility Center. Make sure that you download the NCAA Guide for College-Bound Student Athletes. A free download. It's a PDF. Gives you all the information that you're going to need for that to show that you're on target for the Eligibility Center. AI, anybody that's looking at AI schools, you can go to their website, www.playnai.org. They have an Eligibility Center as well. You can make sure that you're on target with those classes. Your homework, next steps moving forward. First and foremost, get NCSA profile as close to 100% as possible. The only thing realistically that should be missing on your if you're 2017, nothing should be missing. 2018, you could be missing your ACT or SAT scores. Everything should be up there. 2019, be missing your ACT or SAT scores. Everything else should be up there, so you should be at 95%. 2020s and under, chances are of getting a transcript, it'll be pretty tough because either if you're 2021, you're not even in high school yet, you don't have a transcript. 2020, some schools will not have transcripts for you until the completion of your freshman year. So make sure that you have a most recent report card up there on your profile to verify your academics. Again, you will be missing the ACT, SAT test. Coaches will understand that when they see your grad year. 2, set at least one new academic goal. Grade point average from a 2.8 to a 3.0, 3.3 up to a 3.5, 3.5 up to a 3.7. Set a goal and meet it by the end of the year. It's a test score. You've got a 22 on your ACT. Set that goal to get that up to a 26 and work at it. It's not going to happen if you don't work at it. Step, if you haven't already, schedule your first one-on-one coaching session with your head football recruiting coach. Guys, the worst thing you can do is wait to the last minute and then set up a coaching session during your senior season and coach, why am I not getting recruited? Get on that first one-on-one coaching session. Get a game plan put together. All right, you gotta follow that game plan. It's like your playbook in football, man. That's what you're going to go by. And that we are all in this together. You, your family, NCSA, never hesitate to reach out with questions. Reach out to our support team here at 877-856272. You can also email us at recruitinghelp@ncsasports.org. The webinars are going to be a great tool for you in educating in the recruiting process. Knowledge is power here, so take advantage of those. The first one that you should have been on is either rookie orientation or football rookie orientation. Either one of those classes are acceptable. You should have been on that one before this one. Moving forward, to get on classes, here's a few suggestions. Understand your match percentage. And football coach communications. Some other suggestions: emailing coaches the right way. Visits 101. Talk about how to set up visits, how to ask for visits, and get a better idea of what's going to happen on those visits. But one thing that you'll realize with NCSA, the NCSA is very good at what they do. Those that are lucky enough to have me as a head recruiting coach, I'm phenomenal at what I do. But the one thing that all of us fail is that we can't read minds. So if we don't know what your questions, your concerns, your speed bumps are, it makes it very difficult for us to answer those or help those. So never hesitate to reach out with questions. The silly question in the recruiting process, you never ask. Gentlemen, from the get-go, like I said, I'm excited to have you on here. Thanks for taking time out on your busy Wednesday evenings. come on for Football Recruiting 101. If you have questions, feel free to type them in the text box. If you do not have any questions, you got homework, you got a workout, you got a hot date to get to, if you jump off the phone, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Again, I will be sending this recording out shortly. But if you have questions, then start typing them in the text box there. Man, questions, either you guys are all asleep or I'm just that good of a teacher. Actually, you haven't been contacted by the video department. Now, the video department is not going to reach out to you. You will need to send your Huddle username and password. You can either send it over to recruitinghelp@ncsasports.org, or you can give it directly to your head recruiting coach once set up that first one-on-one coaching session. I would suggest you send it into recruitinghelp@ncsasports.org earlier. That they can get the video up on your profile, so when you have that one-on-one coaching session, your recruiting coach is able to really give you an idea of what schools will, makes a good fit for you to start reaching out to. Pleasure. I will be sending this whole call out via email, and you'll be able to look at that chart with the contact rules again. I'm glad. It's a pleasure. You're welcome. Joshua, you're welcome. Other questions I can answer here tonight? And like I said, I will be sending this out shortly after it ends. But again, thank you for joining me here tonight. I know you guys are busy, but shows definitely a lot of commitment that you guys made a point to be. So never hesitate to reach out with questions. Remember, we're always here to help. All right, have a great night.